Hello, friends, and welcome to the Crypto Stacker channel. Hey, I'm taking a different approach tonight, and I'm doing this as a live stream because it's very labor intensive to film, edit, download, and then post. And I'm just not really afforded that much time tonight. So there may be some people join me on the stream, but even if you don't, I'm just going to use this as my film so I can get it uploaded and give you guys some thoughts. I've got this one titled like Straight Talk with the Community about the Saitama project, where we're at and where we're going. So, hey, Red Sox, how are you doing, buddy? I'll give it just a few more minutes here for people to jump in. It looks like there's actually several people now that are joining the stream. And I'll just explain one more time what I'm doing. Ironics, how are you? Thanks for joining the stream. So, uh, Marty, how are you? I am doing well. So, what I'm doing here tonight, guys, is when I do a standard video, it ends up taking me about an hour to an hour and a half to make the video. It has to render down after you edit it and then post. And it can take about an hour and a half. And I have about 20 minutes right now to put this together. And there's some things that I just want to say. I want to get off my chest, talk a little bit about Saitama and some of the things that I'm seeing and some of the things that I think that we could do to maybe help turn this project around, to help the development team help themselves. So, Auspex 1980, I'm also still holding Saitama. Whoops, I got to plug in my computer or we're not going to be having this conversation. But let me just show you something here, folks. I used to do this every single time I made a video, but I don't have as much Saitama as I used to, but there's 287 trillion or billion. I wish it was trillion. 287 billion. Okay. I have another 50 to 60 on Saitamask. So it's not a ton. It's not what it used to be. I had 1 trillion coins at one point in time. I got scammed for about half of those at one point in the journey. And then I have diversified a little bit of it out. But there were a couple things I wanted to talk at. Usually I would, and I can share my screen because there are some things that I want to show you guys. But I usually go through and talk about the fundamentals and where we're at. I'm not going to get so deep into that tonight. Browser can app share. Let me see one more time if I can share my screen. Not sure why it's telling me that. If that's the case, that it's not going to. I don't know why it's not allowing me to screen capture today, but that's okay. We can talk through it anyway. Not a problem. Donald Strickland, love you too, man. You've been a helper for a long time with the channel, bringing good vibes, bringing in great ideas for me, and offering a lot of kindness and advice, and I appreciate that. So I want to start really quick by talking about Crypto Dubai. I was really bummed out this morning when I saw a little snippet out there that Russ wasn't able to be at the Crypto Dubai event. Honestly, it felt like a letdown again. And I believe that it's out of his control. Okay. Am I a little bit skeptical? A tiny bit. I am. And I'll tell you why. I think that I've got that mindset because I think people deserve the benefit of the doubt. And we live in a world right now where when you have an issue with COVID, it's a no joke situation still. You get a positive test, they don't let you on the plane. You know, the place I work, if people have a positive test, they go home and they quarantine for 10 days. We're still very serious about it. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt there. But it kind of, I think where my mindset is it reminded me of a story that my mom used to read to me when I was a little kid. It was called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. And ironically, this is the wolf pack, right? So King's Broadcast, how you doing, buddy? Man, long time no see. I was thinking about you today in a conversation we had last time I brought you into a broadcast, actually. But so The Boy Who Cried Wolf, essentially this kid is tending the sheep. He's up on the plains. He gets really bored. He wants to have some fun. So he cries wolf. And all the townspeople come because they're trying to protect the sheep. And there is no wolf. And so they're like, why would you do that? You know? So they go back to their lives. The kid's watching the wolves, watching the sheep. He cries wolf again because he gets bored. All the townspeople come. There is no wolf. He kind of thinks it's fun. But they're getting upset about it, you know? And then the townspeople all leave and he's still tending the sheep. And then wolves come and he cries wolf, but nobody comes because he lost the trust of the community. And I feel like mentally, that's the space that I'm getting into where we've been told so many times that something's going to happen. And the delivery has been insufficient. Okay. I'm trying to be very careful about my words because I'm not trying to hate on anybody. And I don't think that Saitama, that anything associated with Saitama is an easy project. I really don't. But I'm not the one setting the deadlines. You're not the one setting the deadlines. We keep getting deadlines and they keep getting missed. So this thing with Russell at Crypto Dubai today, I was like, gosh, dang it. It's just disappointing. And it is disappointing. Thanks, Gary. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. So I went and finally got a chance to watch Gabriel actually presented in Russell's place. And my hat's off to Gabriel. He did a really nice job. If you search Crypto Dubai 2022 Saitama, you'll be able to watch the whole speech that Gabriel gave. And I actually thought that he did a very nice job. The sound in the video that's out there is horrible. So just bear that in mind. But it's been, you know, it was good. It was good for me to see Gabriel, that he stepped in, he pinch hitted, and I thought he did a good job. So Russell, I hope you're doing well. I hope you get better. Okay. So having addressed that, guys, I want to start telling you a little bit about what I'm seeing within my own content and just explain to you some of the frustrations I'm seeing and how I think that's killing us as a Wolfpack community. So, and I wish my screen share was working. I honestly have no idea why it isn't. I'm going to try it one more time here because I can show you this, but you could go in and you could look at it for yourselves as well. So let me see if I can, I'm going to try one more time, screen share. Maybe if I just do it slightly differently. Okay. Hey, Rodney, how are you doing, man? My understanding is Rodney had a surgery. So Rodney, I hope you're feeling well. No need to donate to the channel, man, but it'll be good to have you in here a little bit. King's Broadcast, good to have you in here a little bit. Because these guys have created content and we've had some discussions, but the thing that I started looking at, so what's happening to me in my videos, I have been Saitama 100%. Okay. Up until 3 weeks ago, I never made a video for any other project. I've made 210 videos and they're all Saitama. I made one video and a bunch of people in the audience instantly turned. And they're like, hey man, don't turn on the family. Don't turn on the wolf pack. I'm like, I'm having a hard time understanding that. Okay. I'm having a hard time understanding that because I'm not turning on the wolf pack. You know, the wolf pack is turning on me. I'm still creating Saitama content, but it's the same behavior I've seen towards a bunch of different people who are out there trying to help the project until they weren't. Okay. At some point, people gave up on the project and they walked away. And instead of people saying, what is causing people to walk away? Because if everything was going swimmingly, if the project was delivering, everybody would want to talk about it, right? And then I see the community turn on people and say, you know, Saitama built you. Your channel exists because Saitama built you. And I'm thinking, do you know how offensive that is? Really? To say that, because I like to at least think it's a mutual relationship. I donated 300 hours to Saitama. I have not received a single call, text, or even a comment in a video from anybody on the development team. And I'm not saying they owe anything to me because I'm part of the community and I want the project to succeed. I volunteered. Nobody ever asked me to do it. I volunteered. So I'm not looking for praise and accolades, but for heck's sakes, when somebody's out there giving you something, the least people could do is not turn, you know? And it's not just individuals within the community. It's not just individuals within the community. If in the case of like Ryan Patrick, a developer went directly after him. And I can't understand that. You know, Ryan created content for probably 6 to 8 weeks for Saitama. To the best of my knowledge, he's not compensated. I've never received a penny from anybody on the team. Literally, I've never had a conversation with anybody except for Ria, who's the real Saitama queen. And she was very cordial and kind to me. She came on, she did an AMA with me. It was the very first one I ever did. And it was nice. You know, everybody else was doing things with Russell and the development team, so I didn't even seek those out. So it's not like I've asked them and they've turned me down. All I'm saying is we had all these people trying to help the community, and the second that they talk about anything else, the community turns on them. And I mean, you look at the comments in my last 2 videos, and you have people saying, like, you know, that I'm now talking about a bunch of other S coins. You know, I try to keep this family friendly and PG. That's just been my style from the beginning. I have the full vocabulary and I know how to use it. I just prefer not to use it in this setting. So I'm just saying, how can we turn this around, right? Instead of attacking everybody who has the potential to maybe help you, turning on them just creates more negativity. And there are people in the community that are lauded as like high level esteemed individuals in the wolf pack who absolutely are trashing people constantly. They love it. I mean, it's the way of shining the spotlight maybe on themselves. And it does feel good to dig the knife, right? You know, sometimes a good I told you so is kind of a fun thing to do, but it is so counterproductive in this space. And and so people who had invested millions of dollars in the project go to do something else, and they got doxxed. Somebody outed them. Somebody gave up their anonymity, causing people to turn on them and make threats directly toward them. I mean, this is completely unhealthy. Okay. And that's on top of a project that's failing right now, not because of the community, not because of influencers, but because promises were made that weren't kept. Now, I've been very positive about that. I tried to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I'm still trying to do it. I'm glad they have Saitama out. I like the app. I like the functionality. I think that it has high potential. It has no liquidity. Even for me, I wanted to buy Impact XP. I want to use Saitama at the time. I haven't checked it today, but the most I could trade was $70. And you still pay a $15 fee, which is amazing right now. The Ethereum gas fees are incredible. Whether you're trading on Saitama, you're trading somewhere else. But if you buy $500 worth, you really pay about the same fee as if you do 50. So having to make 10 transactions to get a position in that, I just went, turned on my Trust wallet, linked up to Uniswap, and made the trade. You know, I'm seeing all this stuff with Dojo Swap. I don't even follow it, but it's ridiculous. Who cares if they did their own thing? If they copied Uniswap and Uniswap wants to go look into that and sue them, let that be their deal. Why are we looking at other people's stuff and pissing on their project? Let's look at our project and see what we can do to fix it. Let's see how we can turn the tide on this thing back to green, because it's been an ocean of red. And that really, somebody has to accept some accountability for that has the ability to influence that. And yes, I know not everything works out perfect. I know it's that what they're doing is extremely difficult. I have all the respect in the world for people who can code and can put together these programs like Saitama. I think it's beautiful. I really do. I love the look of it. The functionality of it has been spotty. It's getting better. The liquidity has been poor. Hopefully that will get better. The launch of, Sida Realty, that didn't quite work. Okay. Hopefully round two with that works. Hopefully this Lucky Roo coin works. So here's my suggestion. This is my way of saying, can we turn this around? Okay. Let's try a different tactic. Okay. And you guys, the people that are here right now, you guys are not the ones who would ever say this kind of stuff. You're not the ones who are out there in my comments telling me that I'm a traitor to the wolf pack and that I'm fudding the project by talking about anything else, and that everything else in the world is a shit coin and Saitama is the only thing that exists. Okay. That's crazy talk. There's 18,000 coins listed on CoinGecko. So there could potentially be some other projects out there that work, and maybe the ones I'm talking about won't work. I don't really know. Maybe it won't. So far, the other group I'm talking about, everything they've told me they were going to do, they've come through with. I hope the trend continues. If it doesn't, I'm going to call them out on it. You have to call a spade a spade. So, yeah. And I actually watched this go down with Rodney. I saw it. And Rodney has a different approach than me. Rodney very straightforward. He's very direct and pointed and a little bit crass. And he's killing me. People like his channel more than they like mine. It's fine. I like his channel. It's a great channel. The content is good. He's calling a spade a spade. He's not pulling any punches. Is he always getting it right? Maybe not. Were there some other clash things going on? Yeah, there were. But a lot of that's turned around. And I mean, look at how toxic this has become. It actually took people that were, I only have so much screen here in my camera, that were completely north and south, like Ryan Patrick and my crypto journey, put them on the same team. If those guys were pulling on the same side of the rope for Saitama in a positive direction, think how much good that could do. So I've got my screen up here. I'm going to start clicking on these. It's going to take me off, but I'm going to show you. So this is Austin Hilton's YouTube feed. If you guys do this exercise, you go look and you start scrolling and you see here about 3 weeks ago, there's a lot less comment for Saitama. Jake Gagan. Jake was the first person I ever saw make content about Saitama. He's got Saitama content out there still in the last couple of weeks, but he's mixing it in with a lot of other stuff. And if you start scrolling back through Jake's video feed, you're going to see a lot more Saitama about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, where it's like, here's Lily. That should have been part of Saitama. There's Saitama, Saitama. 3 out of every 5 videos were Saitama. Now it's 1 out of 5. Zach Humphreys, somebody whose content I really like. These are people whose content that I watch. That's why I'm pulling them up. I don't have a preference for them over anybody else. But look at Zach. Where's the Saitama content? Where did it go? You go, there's one back a few weeks. But if you get back 4 or 5, 6 weeks, look where it is. Saitama, Lily, which was Saitama, right? When we saw Lily a month ago, those were Saitama videos. Saitama. It's changing. The tide is changing because people's energy and their money flows to where it's treated well. This is Ryan Patrick, and you guys all know his story. He's been bashed pretty hard by the wolf pack. And I don't think it's 100% merited. I think people are looking for reasons to move the negative energy off on somebody else rather than acknowledge that we've kind of created our own issues as a community. And, I'm kind of just teetering right now on what do you guys want? I know the people that are in the stream right now, you guys have been supportive. You're supporting the videos, and I'm not asking for people to give me support. I'm asking for people to give the project support. Look at him back 2 months ago. Saitama, Lily, Saitama, Lily, Saitama, Saitama, Saitama. These are hundreds of thousands of views that are gone from the project because instead of saying thanks for what you're doing, because most of these influencers are not getting paid, and people are saying, oh, they're just getting paid to fund the project. There might be an instance out there of somebody trying to pay somebody to fund a project, but you've got to be kidding me. No one's paying anybody to fund the project. People might be paying these guys to go cover some other projects. I got a sponsor for my channel, and quite frankly, every time I make a video, somebody from that team sends me a message saying, thank you. We appreciate the video. It's great content. So what I'm saying is, let's turn this around. Let's do this differently. Let's stop feeding into the toxicity. This is Bud Yeti calling it toxic tribalism. Let's stop feeding into it. Stop giving a voice to people in the community who are crapping all over everybody to try to get some attention. Go into Austin's videos, go into Jake's videos, go into Zach's videos, your pop, quite frankly, into Rodney with My Crypto Journey, into King's broadcasts, into Ryan, Patrick, and tell them, hey, we just want to say thanks for the contribution that you made to the project. In my channel, which is a tiny little channel, honestly, compared to some of these guys that are titans, I've got, here's my little about section. So my first video was September 2nd, 850,000 views. Okay. 840,000 of those are to Saitama. And all I'm saying is, if we want this project to do well, if we want to turn the tide, we have to take a multifaceted approach. We had a bunch of people out there working for free. I watched Cuffin' the Dip and Just a Man do their show to 10 people watching it for weeks. Just a Man tried for like 6 weeks to get 1,000 subscribers so that he could get compensated, at least monetize his channel to try to get a little something back for his time. Now he does a show every single day at noon. Are people jumping in and just telling him thank you? I get it in my videos all the time, mostly from those of you who are here right now. So I don't want this to come off as a lecture for you. I don't want this to come off, and I'm not, guys, I don't feel like I need a big, huge pat on the back, but literally in 6 months, not one single person from Saitama has acknowledged that I exist, that I'm even here, that I've done anything. You guys have. We've built a stacker community, and that's been a pleasure. It's been really a good thing for me. But I want to see Saitama succeed. My goal, if you go back and look at my very first video before I had a microphone, before I had a camera, all it is a PowerPoint presentation, and I'm catching the audio on my computer. There's no light, there's no ring light, there's no craft room. It's just me talking over a PowerPoint presentation about how I would like to help the Saitama community reach 1 million wallets. That was my goal, to be a top 100 coin and to get 1 million wallets. Because I figured if that happened, that I would actually catch the wave and I would, be able to have some financial security just based on the fact that I was a holder of Saitama. I didn't think YouTube would really pan out. I didn't think anybody would watch. I certainly didn't think there'd be this many subscribers. I honestly didn't think that we'd still be going now 7 months later. But things are going fairly well. And Saitama has come a long way. I want to acknowledge, you guys, that this is an accomplishment, okay? This is an accomplishment. They have done something. They have delivered a product. It just came out in a very messy way. And so now we're here. It's time to build back. So how do we turn the tide? How do we get players back on the team? How do we quit crapping all over each other on Twitter? If people want to join a different project, that's great. I mean, don't you hold more than one thing? Do you only have one coin? Are you really sold that Saitama is the only project that could ever be successful? People can deal with other projects. It's totally fine. We should be going to those projects and inviting their 8,000 wallet holders that may not have Saitama to come and invest some of their investment in Saitama. We need to grow the whole market. We need more people coming to crypto. And in order to do that, it has to be an inviting place where people feel like they're supported, like they feel like they're welcome. They feel like there's a positive atmosphere around whatever it is they're doing. Who wants to go participate in some kind of a space that's just kind of nasty and toxic? And so, I all I'm saying is I want to reach my personal goal. I want to help Saitama get to 1 million wallets. We're at 350,000. So I'm a third of the way there. I need the development team to do better at delivering on their promises. And we all need that as investors, guys. This isn't just a matter of missing some deadlines. Okay. Let me show you something here. Okay. This is going to show you my whole history. I've been keeping a spreadsheet myself on the data and analytics since the first day I made a video, maybe the third day I made a video. Okay. Since September the 4th, there were 31,000 wallets. The market cap at the time, we didn't even have it was just the fully diluted market cap. So by end of September, we're sitting at 600 million, okay, at 47,000 wallets, 690 million. These were good days, by the way. It was super exciting and my wallet was growing like crazy. And I thought I was going to be a millionaire. I thought you guys were going to actually watch me open my wallet on the screen and show $1 million. It got pretty amazing at one point in time. Okay. You get into November, we're talking billions of dollars. And I'm not going to count those 2 days around the launch of the token, 6 billion, because that was pie in the sky. But 3 billion, 2 billion. We get into December, we're still sitting 2 billion, 2 billion. Now we're talking about 500 million. Okay. People who bought in September are underwater on this after that amazing bull run. If you never took profits, which I never did on this project, I learned some things about that. I've since changed my ways. So we're like 134th in the rankings, 133rd, somewhere in right there. But that's the story. The story is we had a $3 billion market cap and now we have a 530 million. Is that because Ryan Patrick said he was selling his 5 trillion coins? Is it because of some feud on Twitter? Honestly, I don't think so. I think it's due to consistent missed deliveries. And now that they've delivered, even if it's behind schedule, okay, I still think that this project has space to build. I think we've got room to make some amazing things happen. In order to do that, we have to start delivering on the new promises. It's just kind of where we're at, guys. Sorry, I haven't been following your chat. Oh, people talking whales probably here. John Smith been trolling me for several days now. Appreciate that. I don't know. I'm not trying to FUD anybody's project. Quite frankly, I don't have the time to dig into most of these projects. I'm relying on other influencers and on Twitter to try to fill me in on what's going on with Impact and Shaman, Shuna, all these other ones that are listed. I'm going to try to do some reviews for those because they're part of Saitamask and I want Saitamask to succeed. But the thing that will, I mean, the cancer is the same as the cure in this case. And the cancer has been a series of missteps in delivery. Whether the reasons are legitimate or not, it doesn't matter. I think some of those reasons were perfectly legitimate. I believe in the bot attacks. Okay, somebody said that they thought that was total bullcrap. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt on all of that stuff. But even if the reasons are perfectly legitimate, at a certain point, we have to acknowledge as a community that this has not been a good deal. It's been it's been really a letdown over and over and over and over again. The only way to fix it is to start delivering on promises. And I think some of these things have a lot of promise. That Lucky Roo project, I'm not much of a gambler personally, though I am gambling like crazy on cryptocurrency because this is about as volatile as a casino. But, I think maybe that one has some potential to generate some volume. That's what we have to have. We have to generate some volume. We've got to burn the coins. We've got to get more investors, new money to the table to get this thing progressing in a positive direction. So here's my ask, guys. I got my wife upstairs asked me if I'm ever going to come to bed the last 7 months when I stay up till 2 a.m. to do this, which I enjoy. So don't feel bad for me. I'm not asking for sympathy. But what I am asking is, if you want me to help you guys pull this project forward, it's completely voluntary, guys. No one is offering me anything to do this. I do think that there could be financial rewards if the coin does well. It should have taken some profits at some point, and I wouldn't even be saying that. I would say it's been a profitable venture for me, but it hasn't. But what I'm saying is, let's try to turn the tide as a community. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be willing to call it what it is. You have to acknowledge that these are real problems. Having a developer attack an influencer because the influencer says he's not going to cover the project anymore. He wasn't getting paid to cover it in the first place. He was doing it out of the kindness of his heart. He could take down all of his old videos that his people can still go back in and watch. Let's give some support to people who are trying to support us. Seriously, you don't know how much it helps when somebody says, like some of you have said in here, this right here, love your videos. Thank you for your time and hard work. Do you know how far that goes with people who are working for free? It goes a long ways. And so, I think jumping into some of these other influencers' places onto their Twitter feeds and just saying, hey, Jake Gagan, thanks for all the work you put into Saitama. I miss you doing as much content as you used to do. Could you make a video about whatever it is? How to make a trade on Saitamask. Those guys have massive followings. Austin Hilton has 200,000 followers. Jake Gagan's got 50 some odd thousand. Zach Humphrey's got 80 some odd thousand. I mean, you're talking about tens of thousands of free commercials a day. If we can show some kindness and just let people know that we appreciate the work that they're doing. And I'm not saying that's going to be the thing that turns the tide. Really, the thing that will fix the project is delivering on promises that that people make. If you can't deliver it, don't promise it. I'm fine with that. And we've seen some of that here because the team seems to be learning, and then they step back into it sometimes. But they will say, hey, when it's ready, we'll put it out there. Okay, I can respect that. But I'm launching this tomorrow at 2 p.m. Put it back a day, putting it back 3 days, putting it back again. I mean, the number of move deadlines in the year 2020, it's got to be pushing a dozen. Somebody could go back and count, but I'm willing to let the past be the past. I'm willing to keep supporting the project. Okay. The few fudders that say whatever they're going to say in my videos, that's fine. But for heaven's sakes, man, let's stop with the insanity and stop cheering on the people in the Twitter community that have nothing positive to say about anybody. They're very positive about the project, but in being positive about the project, they crap on everything else around them, you know? Like the best way to make our project shine is to smash everything else around it. That doesn't work for me, you know? Just don't even give any credence to those projects if you want to not help them and help your project. Talk about what's positive about what, about Saitama. Talk about what's working well. Talk about the efforts that people are putting in. Talk about people like Gabriel today, who freaking grabbed a pair and got up on stage and delivered a presentation that he had no idea he was going to be giving. And I thought delivered a great moment there for Saitama. So let's see. I'm going to look at this just a tiny bit, and then, quite frankly, I'm gonna have to jump out. Kings, I'll give you some space here because Kings broadcasts, and I go back a ways. Good dude. Always say everyone is the CEO of their own bag. That's right. Make your own decisions. What's best for you. But for heaven's sake, man, if you want to help any project you're supporting, don't crap on somebody else's project. It's just disrespectful, and it just creates this loop of negative garbage that isn't helping anybody. So, Bree, here's another person, you guys. If you ever want to see a ray of sunshine in your life, you better follow Bree on Twitter. Everything she says makes me happy. Bree, you're awesome, and I appreciate you. So, all right, guys. As much as I love you guys, hey, oh my gosh, here's another one. Crypto Deb, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry for the trouble that your family's having. I'm sorry for your grandmother and the loss that you're experiencing there, or that you will be experiencing. I'm very sorry. My heart goes out to you, and my prayers are with you and your family. This is what a community can do, guys. You guys are supporting me at midnight. I know from watching other people's content what's going on in their lives. We can be kind, we can be positive, we can do things to move things in a positive direction. Or we can feed into the negative and we can just spew more negative. It's not carrying us anywhere. I'm over it, honestly. I want to work with projects that are positive, and I want Saitama to be positive because I'm a guy who likes my goals. And I set this goal with no expectation of how I would ever get there. Watch my very first video. It has 200 views. It's horrible. But my goal was top 100 coin, 1 million wallets for Saitama. Okay. I still want to obtain the goal. I'm still making Saitama content. I'm doing it right now. Okay. If I talk about anything else, please be kind. Okay. Because I'm also trying to support myself and my family, even though this isn't my job. I have a whole job outside of here. But if I'm going to spend time in the craft room, I probably should have something to give back to my family for that. So, guys, I love you. Thank you for coming to spend some time with me. My crypto journey, I'd like to get together with you sometime, man. You and I, you're actually more like my real friends than you would ever know. I've got some people that if you met them, I see your gun frenzy. I'm not that guy, but I got a friend who, if you met him, you'd be you wouldn't need to take pain medication. You'd have so much euphoria going on from this guy's collection of his armament. So, hey, Rodney, get feeling better. Deb, I hope you feel well. I hope your family is doing okay. You guys can pull together. And thank you for all you guys contribute to the space, the content that you're creating, the support that you're giving to the projects that you're working for. Much appreciated. Nothing happened, Olivia. I'm actually nothing. I guess it depends, Olivia, on what you're asking what happened. If you're just talking about my general demeanor and why I'm kind of down, I didn't want to make a video tonight because I didn't want to take a full hour and a half to do it because I'm just over it and I'm going to bed. But I just wanted to talk about how I feel about the community right now and some of the things I'm seeing and some of the things I think we can do to turn it around. So, um, let's just try to stay positive. Let's try to be supportive of the dev team. I'm being supportive of them in spite of the fact that I'm saying that it's been hard for me to watch the missteps. It's been hard for me to watch the missed deliveries. I'm still supporting. I still have Saitama. I'm still trying to place trades. I own on Saitama every coin they have listed because I'm trying to see how it's working. You know, I want to see that it's functioning so I can report that back to people and try to get the word out. So, um, Saitama devs, I'm with you. Deliver, bring, bring the goods that you guys are promising. I think you have the skills. We've got the platform now. Let's beef up the platform. Let's fix the bugs. Let's get the liquidity going. And when you're ready, launch these exclusive projects and let's ramp up the volume and get people excited about this again. All right, guys. Thanks very much for joining me. I can't believe you guys, 140 people at zero notice jumped on with me. You're awesome people. I appreciate you. Hey, much love. Take care. Check back with me soon. We'll watch our crypto stacks grow together.